Good afternoon, everybody. It's Lorraine Alternative Homesteading on October 17, 2025. It's afternoon, and I hope you enjoy this original little mini art by Sawlight42 on eBay. I think I have this one a couple of years. Let me see if it's dated. 2022. Yes, 2022. It's apropos because we're in October and it's pumpkin season. Although I have no pumpkins this year. I've had pumpkins for the last 2 years, but not anymore because in Jackson County, Kentucky, the local criminals have destroyed all of my garden beds. In fact, the garden beds that I completely cleared, they littered with grass seed. Oh, not just a couple little weeds. No, they completely reseeded my garden beds to look better than my lawn. Yeah. So anyway, thank you, subscriber, for let me get this video here. Kentucky man accused of murdering neighbor claims torture by directed energy weapons. It was going to happen eventually, boys and girls. Okay, it's going to happen eventually. You know, somebody who may or may not be aware of who is actually using the energy weapons may inadvertently claim that it's the neighbors, when it's usually often, I mean, it can be the neighbors. I mean, they do hide equipment in neighbors' homes. They do have meetings in neighbors' homes. But many times these energy weapons are set up by fusion center operatives, infraguard, military, okay? Because, you know, your neighbors are idiots. They can't place most of these sophisticated weapons in the hands of people who may inadvertently do something to the target who's their moneymaker. They don't want to get rid of their moneymaker that early. They have to continue making money off the moneymaker, their target. So they don't want to get rid of you. They just want to torture you a little bit, you know, a little at a time, here and there, set you up for crimes. You know, if they haven't set you up for a crime yet, they don't want to kill you yet. They want to bank on you a little bit more. So no, I can't confirm or deny that my neighbors actually possess these energy weapons, although I will attest to the fact that this is Kentucky. And this state is heavily armed. I guarantee that every one of my neighbors has a plethora of devices. Homemade, purchased, you know, whatever. Many of them are probably not even registered, if you get my drift, you know. So anyway, so Kentucky man accused of murdering neighbor claims that he was tortured by directed energy weapons. Now, this is on WKYT. And thank you, subscriber, for sending it to me. I see that it's posted on the internet by another targeted person. I just received it. I'm just reading my mail now. It's 1:30 in the afternoon. So, so evidently, this guy, for the last 6 years, I believe he says, the last 5 or 6 years, he has been tortured as a targeted person in Kentucky. So he's had it. And he claims that it's his neighbors that actually have the energy weapons. But we don't know that for sure. Again, I just mentioned that I don't believe that the government, I'll just say the government, is going to place these devices in the hands of your local neighbors. I do believe that they have to be in the hands of somebody more sophisticated who knows how to utilize them properly, who knows the correct measures and etc. And most of the time, it's through AI. You know, it's they're already set up to do certain things. The neighbors may bring them onto your property. They may be complicit in being aware of them. They may be complicit in having them in their homes. But I generally don't believe that they're utilizing them in the way that they're utilized against targeted people. That's just my opinion. They do other things. The neighbors do other things. They do other things, right? I don't think they're going to be paid to use these kind of devices, although they may use other devices on their own, like they've done with burning a hole the same hole in my rooster, cat's face, a neighbor's dog, and a stray cat. Exact same circular black hole. Okay, killed my cat. It did not kill my rooster, surprisingly. But when I posted the photo of my rooster, that he was still alive, but the cat died, guess what happened? My rooster, Bandit, just suddenly disappeared. Poof! No feathers, no nothing, just poof. The evidence was stolen, you know? They couldn't have my rooster still alive with a black hole on the side of his feathers, which, by the way, I did report to the Jackson County Sheriff's Department at the time. We're talking about approximately 2.5, maybe even 3 years ago. I actually showed the deputy who was here. The deputy actually viewed my cat's face and viewed the same hole in the rooster, but I don't have any such incident report claiming that that actually happens. Surprise, surprise. So any Kentucky man accused of deleting a neighbor, he claims he's being tortured by directed energy weapons. I'll show you. Now, I don't want to get a copyright strike or whatever, so I'm usually, you know, you can do like 30 seconds of a clip. This is actually only a 2-minute clip, so let me just see here what we can play. I'm going to mute it and then play it. Oh, here, this is the guy. This is the man.
The crime, as we're learning more about the case from the 911 calls made after the shooting. WKYT's Phil Pendleton has more on what took place in the case today in Pulaski County.
Okay, so this is Pulaski County. This is south of me, and this actually happened in Somerset. And I know it's about, I'm going to say it's probably about 40 minutes south of me. So evidently, there were 911 calls after this, and you could see from this person's face. I mean, he looks like a targeted person. Does he look like a criminal to you? I don't. He doesn't look like a criminal. He looks like a lot of other targeted people that are being tortured. Okay, so that's one thing. I just wanted to mention that. So, you know, the thing is, this is how I view this. It was going to happen eventually. There may be more such cases like this, neighbor disputes like this, the energy weapons, but they may or may not be reported. And the person who is doing the deleting of the neighbor may or may not survive that incident. So it may or may not be actually reported. But there are a lot. This is going to happen more frequently, I believe. I believe that people are fed up with what's happening. And of course, the powers that be instigate these things. And then they're claiming that he's got mental health issues, he's hearing voices, etc., etc. And then, of course, it gets the neighbors off the hooks, because generally the neighbors are rat snitch informants, right? They're the gift card whores. They're the ones that are instigating the person. And, you know, depending on your personality, characteristics, and type, and what is happening to you, how you grew up, how you deal with stress, your emotions and stuff, the transits in the sky, everybody's going to respond and react differently to these forms of torture. I'm not a violent person. I do believe in karma, like Carmageddon. I do believe that the Creator has a plan for these creatures. And the thing is, what is happening to me here in Jackson County, Kentucky, I guarantee is being done to other people, even in my own town. Maybe not to the extent of what's happening to me. But I don't know, of all the local people, the county lawyer, the sheriff's department, I don't know all the other crimes that they have committed against innocent people. Only the powers that be, the master of the universe, the Creator, only that energy knows what all these other people have done and the kinds of karma that's going to be dished out to them. So it's not only about me. This is why I have to, let it go sometimes. Let some things go. You can file complaints and stuff, but am I going to delete a neighbor? No, I'm not going to delete it. I don't even care. I don't even want to talk to my neighbors. I want nothing to do with my neighbor. Just leave me alone. Leave me alone. Okay? I don't really care because I know, I'm old enough to know that the creator, the energy of the universe, will take care of every one of them that has warred against me. It might not be today. It might not be next week or next month. But every one of these people is going to die at some point. Every one of them will have their children warring against them. Just the way my neighbor's son stuck his middle finger up at me. You think that if he could do that to a senior citizen, he's not going to do it to his own parents in their time of need? He was taught well. He was taught well to disrespect older people. Do you think it's not going to happen to them? Their karma, Carmageddon, their karma is going to come from their own family members and the people who signed them up, the people who paid them. You think they're going to pay all these people and not want their money back? And what do they do with people that know too much about the inside stuff? They get rid of them. They have to. You can't have any of these creatures testifying in court or accidentally getting drunk and spilling the beans somewhere in the public. They can't do that. They can't have that. So I don't worry about it. I believe they're all going to get theirs. So now this was, I think it was one of my videos probably 3 weeks ago. Because there's a lot of crime in Kentucky, a lot of weird stuff that happens here. It doesn't mean that it doesn't happen in New Jersey and Carolinas and California. But since I'm living in Kentucky, there's like a lot of yucky stuff that happens here. A lot of people don't talk about it. They want to play let's pretend we're so stellar, we're so, pious. Barf. So what I mentioned was a husband, a military guy, ends up deleting his wife after she discovers his secret life. And the reason it's now in the news again, this actually happened like 3 or 4 years ago. But the guy is being sentenced and resentenced, and some of it's coming up for review with new evidence and stuff. You know how that works. So, the title of this in Law and Crime Network, and they reviewed this years ago, and now again, August 17, 2025, they're calling it Oathbreaker, the Fall of Sergeant Henning. Oh, it won't be the first time some military guy fell from his little pious position up there. So what they're saying is a seemingly ordinary day in Rhineyville, Kentucky, which is west of me by about, I'm going to say maybe 2 hours, turned deadly when secrets came to light in the Henning household. Jordan Henning, a former U.S. Army soldier, fatally shot his wife. She was a sergeant, first class Ashley Henning, after hidden truths were revealed. And in this crime episode of Crime Atlas, they explore the shocking events, the heated argument, and the chilling aftermath that shocked the community. So without playing this, I will tell you what happened. Okay, so this guy, Sergeant Henning, his secret life was that he had interesting photographs of himself. Different poses and different sexually provocative poses on like a dating website. But it wasn't like some ordinary dating website. It's a dating website for him to attract the same sex. He wasn't looking for a girl. He wasn't looking for a, he didn't want to cheat on his wife with the same thing that she's got. He wanted something different. And after they discovered his profile, and actually it was if I remember correctly, it was a member of the family or friends of the family that discovered his profile, the actual profile. But, wives know. They suspect things, So, evidently, his wife, Ashley, is calling him out on it. And in a shocking video footage, caught on camera with their own household surveillance camera, you see this former Sergeant Jordan Henning, former U.S. Army soldier, running back and forth inside of his house to reload his weapon. I guess he unloaded, whatever shells he had in there already on his wife. Then he came back into the main hallway or whatever, where the cameras are filming him reloading his weapon and running back in there to finish her off. Yeah. So, that's what happens here in Kentucky. Oathbreaker, the fall of Sergeant Henning. Let's see if I can get a little bit of this here, just so that maybe his video's here. His video, let me just... Brineyville, Kentucky.
He came.
Wait.
And I was different than everyone. And he goes, a lot of people like to try to be like us. He goes, but they're not like us. So I think
this is a witness.
There was a boundary very set early on with me and Jordan.
This was a witness. So what was happening with this witness?
When he put his hands on my face and I pushed him.
This witness was being interrogated by the defense attorney, who was trying to discredit her. And this woman, she has a mind of steel. There was no way this lawyer was going to bully this woman. She told him flat out, no, this is what happened. No, this is what happened. No, I want the truth to come out. No, I'm not doing it for any other reason than this guy is guilty. And that's what these defense attorneys do. They try to discredit the witnesses. This woman, mind of steel. We need more people like her. But anyway, so that's what happens here in Kentucky. Husband kills military wife after she discovers his deep, dark sexual history. Oh, and I need to mention this. Okay, so this military guy, he's white. And his wife was black. Okay? And she was beautiful. She was a very pretty woman. Big smile on her face. And actually, she had a higher ranking than he did. So, that's what happens here in Kentucky. Yeah, so military, ex-military, husband kills military wife after she discovers his secret life. And then we've got the Kentucky guy who's he's a targeted individual. And he offs his neighbors because they're using directed energy weapons against him. Wow, wow, wow. I wonder if that will instigate more trouble in the targeting community. Please don't do that. Don't take matters into your own hands, people. Your neighbors are morons. They sold their soul to the devil. You don't have to worry about your neighbors anymore. They signed off their life. Their life is over as they knew it. Because once I move away, they're going to go after somebody else. And karma is going to follow them with their new target of opportunity. Because they're thieves, they're predators, they're parasites. So you don't have to worry about your neighbors. They've already done themselves in by signing any kind of an agreement. And, when they go along to get along with corrupt public officials, those corrupt public officials don't care about them. They don't. Because if one of these lawsuits ever made it to federal court or whatever, you think the sheriff or the lawyer or a judge, like in this town or any other town, do you think they're going to protect their rat snitches? No. They want to keep their jobs. They're not going to protect them. No. They're going to say, well, no, you willingly signed this agreement. You signed a contract. That's what contracts are about. You know, they're being held to their contracts. Don't sell your soul, guys. This is a satanic agenda. And I don't care what anybody says. It's not a religion. It's a cult. It's a cult. It's taking over. It has infiltrated society. And I don't know what else to say about it. It's so corrupt. Like, a friend in New Jersey once corrected me. And I mentioned, I think I said casually, I said, you know, Washington is so corrupt. And he turned to me and he said, Washington is not, how did he phrase it? He said, I think I said, Washington is like the most corrupt state in the country. And he corrected me and he said, Washington is not the most corrupt state in New Jersey. He said, in the United States. He said, New Jersey is the most corrupt state in the United States. Now I'm going to say, because now I've lived in both New Jersey and in Kentucky, I'm going to correct him. I'm going to say, like, New Jersey has a ton of money. New Jersey is a very wealthy state. There are a lot of people who live there with a lot of money. And I'm not saying that there are not clusters like that in Kentucky. Like Lexington, you've got all the horse farms. These horse guys, you know, these farmers, they've got a lot of money. Like, they're $1 million horses and stuff like that. But in New Jersey overall, it's quite a wealthy state. The tax rate is incredibly high. It's not like that in Kentucky. However, the corruption in Kentucky, in especially the small towns, is off the charts. But most people don't talk about it. They're afraid. They're fearful. You know, they've got to live here. So they go along to get along. Just like the sheriff that shot the judge in Lecter County. This is unheard of. On camera. Like, these people, like, what are you thinking, you know? But anyway, this is turning out to be longer than anticipated. These are the two things that are happened in Kentucky. So I'm going to beg to differ. New Jersey is definitely corrupt. Absolutely. But I still find in New Jersey, when I lived there were pockets of corruption. You know, pockets of corruption in government and local governments and stuff. But you could still find local government that was not at all tainted or whatever. They adhere to the code enforcement. They adhere to taking care of the streets. They wouldn't just not take care of your street because you were a targeted person. They would take care of all the streets, right? But not here in Jackson County, Kentucky. Look at what they've done to the county creek and the roads here right in front of my house. Right? They will destroy their own roadways, their own county creek, their own retaining walls to target one person. So that, to me, is incredibly corrupt. Incredibly corrupt. And off the charts. So anyway, I'm going to sign off for now. Leave a comment down below if you heard of either one of these stories. The husband kills the military wife after she discovers that he's soliciting men online in like provocative poses, and the targeted individual who just deleted his neighbors because of their directed energy weapons.